I bought a $75 Nintendo Switch and also a $275 Nintendo Switch. And in this video, we're gonna compare the two and see if it's worth spending the extra 200 bucks for a Switch. Now guys, we'll start with the Switch I paid like 60, 70 bucks for, and it's funky. Let me show you why. And I don't really remember exactly what this thing looks like, but we're about to find out, and oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. This is the Switch? What is this? I have this vague recollection of buying a 3D printed Switch, and I think that's exactly what this is. You can see here in the back, I guess that's our HDMI port kind of coming out of the casing there. Also got a USB-A port, USB-C port, kind of like on the Switch dock, and then the top here has some ventilation, I guess, and a fan inside of it. Now this part looks actually like it's not 3D printed, but I'm not quite sure. Then the top has maybe a button here and some more ventilation, and I think the slot where you put the cartridge in. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in because I'm a little confused on how this thing works. Okay, I plugged the console in and it immediately started going without pressing a button or anything. No man, this is not great. These things like barely fit in the ports there. There we got the HDMI in finally, but the power just slid out on its own. Oh, it barely fits in that slot. Ugh. All right, plugged in. The fan on top is definitely going. You can hear it here. Not sure. I guess that's an intake fan maybe, and then it's pushing air out the back, or at least supposed to. And I thought I saw a green light somewhere, but I don't see it anymore. And also, console's not doing anything. Like this, is this a button here? Does that do something? It's not doing anything. All right guys, well, I've been waiting for a while for this thing to charge up and still nothing happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to open this console up and see if we can figure out what it's doing. And it kind of looks like I can actually just snap the top cover off and wow, yeah, sure enough. Wait, hold on. Is that the Switch? What am I looking at? Oh, you know what? Okay, so we'll take this further apart later, but I think down below all this contraption here, there is a Switch board. And this is like the one of those small docks I guess you can buy like on Amazon or whatever. And you just like, it's not a real dock, but it's like a third party thing you can plug in and use as a dock. I guess that's what's operating right here. Anyways guys, let me see if I can figure out how to get this thing turned on. I really think this button on the front is for the power, but it's just like, it doesn't press anything. It's just kind of loose, so not great. Okay, so I have this little mini dock out, and it appears to have a ribbon cable, I guess, connecting to the Switch, and that ribbon cable is a little bit crinkled up, so hopefully that's not an issue. It's also, oh wait, yeah, it's a ribbon cable that has a USB-C connector on the end that connected to whatever that piece right there is. What the heck? Dude, what is going on here? You also got a wire that goes down, and I guess to maybe the fan or something? I'm not quite sure. We'll see if this little piece right here, carbon fiber piece, will pop out of place now. There it goes. All right, this piece coming out along with the fan. And the fan, I guess, at some point was taped down here, but the tape is completely, yeah, just not tapey anymore. It's not sticky or anything, so that's interesting. And sure enough, here is the Switch. And okay, that's our problem there. Wow, okay. Lost of words. So I'll try to get in here closer so you guys can see what's happening. But basically, right here, I believe, is the PCB with like our volume and power on top of a Switch. And it's kind of just, yeah, it's just taped in place, but the tape came loose. So now when we press the button on top, it just presses nothing, which is why this console is not turning on. At least I would assume that was the issue. So we go ahead and take that piece out. Yeah, that's just electrical tape that's just kind of sitting there. Okay, yeah, now it's clicking. So whatever I just did, it kind of pushed it back into place. Oh no, it's back out of place now. Oh, come on, man. That's, oof. All right, before that moves again, let me go ahead and put everything back together and try to turn it back on and see if it'll work now. Let's go ahead and press this power button. Ooh, I felt a click. Come on, baby, turn on now, please. Oh, I can feel the power button out of place again. God, come on, man. Yeah, so guys, I'm not really sure what to say because I've tried charging this thing up for quite a long time now. It's not doing anything. I've also tried, of course, turning it on with the button down here, and it is pressing the power button now, and you can see the fan of the Switch itself never actually turns on, so it's like it's not getting power at all. And I've even tried plugging our actual power source straight into the Switch down here to try to charge it up, and it's, again, nothing happens. So not great, and according to the eBay listing, you can see the photos where it did work at some point in time, so not sure what happened. Guys, let's go ahead and move on to our $250, what was it, $275 I think for this console. Let's open this thing up and see if it's any better. Wait, no way, dude, this is, what in the heck, dude, this is insane. I actually completely forgot about this thing, but it's a Doomslayer Switch console, and you can see the box looks legit, like it's an actual Switch OLED box, and it's got real graphics here, but it's clearly, I guess what happened is the guy took a Switch box and printed out stuff and then taped on the side. It says Switch OLED there. You can kind of see how it's got some edges of the tape right there, I believe. Here in the front as well, you can kind of see the edges of the tape. I mean, it's definitely lower quality graphics than the original Switch OLED, but it's honestly not bad. Like this is pretty solid for a custom box here. And you can see it's definitely got some just different Joy-Cons, a different thing on the screen. Here on the back, he's even got some custom stuff. Wow, it's actually kind of sick. He went through all this work to put this on the back of the console. But tabletop mode, TV mode, handheld mode, whatever. Let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's inside of this bad boy, because I am very curious what's inside of here. Because of all the tape, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see the tape there, or sticker or whatever. It kind of makes the box a little bit tighter than usual, so it's hard to get out there. And yeah, wow, those are completely different Joy-Cons than I've ever seen. Also have our Switch console here itself, of course. We'll take a look at that closer up in just a second. Got our Joy-Con grip, which looks like nothing special, just a normal Joy-Con grip. Got our Joy-Con straps, HDMI, power, and then here's our our Doom Switch dock right here, which is kind of sick. So it's just basically just a Switch OLED dock with a Doom sticker on the front, our 2 Doom stickers, as you can see here, and then on the back we've got a Doom sticker as well. I don't really know anything about Doom Slayers, so like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to point out what these things are, but let's go ahead and take a closer look. And yeah, you can see some more tape here on the front of just like taping the stickers on the box. Again, it's really cool. We went through all the effort to like make it look like a legit box. It's just a nice little touch here. And then of course our Switch itself. Let's take a look at the OLED, and I feel it's got something special on the back. Let's flip it around, and yep, you can see, actually, is that a completely different case? What? Hold on, what is this thing? Hold on, let me pull out my own OLED and show you a comparison, because it's actually different. Okay, so here's a normal OLED, looks the same from the front, but here in the back, it's just like a pretty standard cover. You've got your, of course, your little kickstand that comes out, and it's flat on the back. But looking at the Doom Slayer Switch here, it's got a different texture on the back, and it even has this like little jut out here for our kickstand, and the kickstand feels a little bit jank. Is that like a third-party kickstand that, I don't know, is this a third-party case? I think it might be. Let me look at the eBay listing real quick and see what other details he gave me. Okay, so yeah, it is a custom shell, and apparently it has Hall effect joysticks, I guess, on the Joy-Cons now, which is kind of cool. By custom shell, I'm not sure if this is like a thing he completely custom built or if it came from AliExpress or whatnot, but it's kind of cool. But again, the kickstand here is a little bit jank, but otherwise it seems completely fine. But let's go ahead and plug our Joy-Cons in and see how those look. Okay, so here's the Joy-Cons, and these Joy-Cons appear to actually be completely different shells. Like this little graphic right here is embedded into the Joy-Con rather than being a sticker like I saw. You can see here the back of the Joy-Cons as well. Even got some cool like burgundy or red buttons. A nice little touch. Let's go ahead and throw them onto the OLED and try to turn the OLED on and see if this one works unlike the last Switch. So let's go ahead and try it out. 3, 2, 1. Probably needs a charge, but we'll try it out anyway. Nope, yep, apparently it still has almost full charge despite this thing being sitting in a box for a month or so. Let's go ahead and try to connect up here. He did say something about the Joy-Con disconnecting sometimes, so I think this one right here is actually not even connected at all. Let me start by going to the controllers tab and see what's going on with these controllers. So you can see the, wait, what? Oh, wow. Okay, so the left Joy-Con shows is actually attached to the console, whereas the right Joy-Con shows not attached to the console, but as charging. That... Why? Let me try to change the grip in order here and see if that'll fix it. Wait. Oh, now it's showing up both on the console. Cool. All right, we'll just leave it alone for now. There's definitely some issues there, and he mentioned that, so that's fair. And we do actually have, wait, it came with Doom. Yo. I guess that makes sense with the Doom Slayer console. Also, there's a bunch of just crap on here. Or I shouldn't say crap, it's actually a bunch of games. We'll go ahead and take a look at that closer. And no, it's actually a digital game downloaded because there's no cartridge in the cartridge slot. Wait, what? Hold on. It shows as a cartridge, but I guess that's just a digital game in there, which is kind of cool. So we got Doom, Super Mario Odyssey, which is just a cartridge, which we don't have loaded up. Got Doom 2, Zelda, Luigi's Mansion, Luigi Mansion, RPG, Zelda, Uno, nice Uno. Cuphead, that's a classic in Minecraft. Let's try out Doom here, which appears to not be a physical game. See if that boots up. Okay, no internet. Do I need the internet to play? Probably so. Oh, no, nope. I can play Doom without the internet, which I'd be kind of sad if I couldn't, but whatever. It is working. Let me check out the rest of the games we have on this thing loaded up and see what else will work. Okay, apparently Tetris 99 is just a digital game. I think that's an online game though. So let's see what it does when we boot this up. And I guess while that's loading up, let's go ahead and toss this thing in the dock and put it on my TV and make sure the dock works as well. And yeah, docked up is working perfectly fine except for my controller's about to die. And I'm really curious if this guy is actually signed into his profile. Like, can I just go to the eShop and be signed into this guy's stuff? Like, I guess we'll try it out just to see what happens. System update, of course there is. All right, I guess we'll update and I'll come back. Okay, it appears to have updated, so let's go ahead and hop back into the eShop and see if he's still signed in now. Okay, and now it's just been trying to load the eShop for like a good few minutes. What is going on? That's just Nintendo Switch stuff, I guess, man, but what the heck? I just want to play this dude's games, man. Come on, let's go ahead and try out, virtual game cards. We can try that. See if there's anything here, and yo, wait, hold on. There's no way it's gonna work, right? Let's try that and go ahead and try to load up Nintendo Switch Sports in the system and see what happens. There's no way. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you factory reset a console before selling it. It appears I have access to all of this guy's games. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore, but I think I could go on virtual game cards and quite literally load every single one of these games onto this system. And I'm not sure if he'd be able to load them back onto his because maybe this is his home console. I actually don't remember how Nintendo does the whole home console thing, but like it's kind of messed up. My man paid for these games, wants to play them, and now I'm loading them on his Switch. That's now my Switch, and he can't play them on his Switch. That's actually his Switch. Also, he has Mario Kart World, so I guess he has a Switch too. Which, wait, what happens if I do this? Unable to load. Okay, that would make sense. Can I load up his Game Boy Advance stuff? What is this? No way. Yeah, I can load up the I can load up the Game Boy Advance tab and play all these games, and he's paying a monthly subscription for, and it just works. Wow. I mean, what do I say, man? Hold on. I gotta get back into the eShop. I'm not gonna do anything with it, but like, is his payment info still included on the eShop? Like, about to find out. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. So Nintendo makes you sign into the eShop before I can use it again. So like I can't actually go in and use this payment method to buy more games. So that's one good thing I guess Nintendo did. I'm kind of surprised they didn't lock off the virtual game cards as well, but I guess that'd be really annoying if you wanted to download a virtual game card. You had to sign in every time, so that makes sense. That's hilarious though. I gotta try out Switch Sports to make sure that works now. Yep, there it is. All right, cool. I don't know what else to say about that, but yeah, definitely factory reset your stuff before you're selling it, or don't send it to me because it's really interesting to see what kind of stuff you guys are playing. So I'll take that as well. Now, next up, guys, I wanted to check out these Joy-Cons because they have a little grip on top. Not sure why. I guess okay, it's just got a normal joystick below it. Actually, those look okay. They're definitely a replacement. They're the Hall Effect joysticks. And personally, I've done the swap before, and they're like the replacement joysticks are fine, but they don't feel quite as smooth and quite as good as an original Joy-Con joysticks. So personally, I'd rather stick with the old Joy-Cons and just like risk having stick drift. But guys, next up we need to throw a game inside this thing and make sure that works. So let's go ahead and pull out the game I have over here somewhere and play the game. We'll play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Pop that in there. Come on, Eric. Load it up, boy. There it is. Cool. It's loaded up. Let's go ahead and make sure it boots. And yep, we're good. So there you have it, guys. While both these consoles are very interesting concepts, I'd say you're probably better off spending $275 on the Doomslayer Edition OLED Switch rather than $75 on a non-working Switch that's in a weird case. So I don't know, man. They're both kind of cool. But if you enjoyed this Switch video, I think you'll like the Switch video here where I got a 1-penny Switch from Temu, or at least I tried to. It was a weird situation, so go check it out. I'll see you guys there.